Welcome to Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes with your host Bert Laporte, Damian Monte Carlo, and Angry Mike D. Alright, sit back and enjoy the ride as they talk about all things that rock and other useless knowledge you don't care about. And remember, every asshole has an opinion. This is theirs. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.
All right, we're back with another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. As you see, there's only two of us here this week. Damien couldn't make it this week, so he did give us our scores. So his scores will be factored into R3, well, as R3 as the panel. So we're going to talk about the Smashing Pumpkins, Aghori, Mhori, whatever the fuck, if I'm saying it right. I'm guessing that's how you say it. Mike, what do you think? Is that how you say it?
That's how I kind of would say it.
Aghori,
maybe I might switch out me for my one day. I don't know.
Yeah, me. Yeah, me.
I'm not sure.
Me or my. I will say before we get in this countdown, man, Billy Corgan pumps out some songs. I mean, he really does. The last album had like 30-something tracks. His track before that, I think, was 20-something tracks.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a light one for him. 10 songs.
Yeah, I think.
Which I'm kind of happy.
Bang it out.
I like 10 songs. I'm a 10-song guy these days. I don't want much more than that.
Right. And the last one had a lot of good songs on it. It's just the ones that were great, and the other ones kind of just fell together. They were still good, but it was hard to pick. The last one I kind of was, if I even say disappointed. I mean, I just felt like a lot of the slow songs were clumped together, and it was kind of moody. The concept? I don't even know if I really made it to the end of that one. To tell you the truth, I was kind of bummed out. Yeah, but the songs that were great with a Tomb, right?
Right.
The songs that were great. Like Be Gilded was a great song. Like there was.
It did have some killer tracks on. Hey, but I mean, like I don't hold that against him. Like I already know from the beginning of his career what kind of artist Smashing Pumpkins are. What Billy Corgan does, and like he's not doing music for his fans. He's doing what he wants to do, and if you like it, then you like it. I mean, there's plenty of bands like that. You're not going to like everything you do, but you're still a fan of them. So
exactly, and he definitely. I mean, listen, they got to be one of the most unique bands ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Nobody sounds like them. I mean, his voice. Nobody matches the voice.
I remember back in the day, it's weird because it was on Headbangers Ball, because I never looked at them as really a Headbangers Ball band.
Right.
But they played that as the song Siva, and I'm like, wow, I was like, I kind of never heard anything like this before. This is really good. Different. And for some reason, I never picked it up, and I'm like, that was just such a killer track, man. Just something totally different.
Yeah, and this is their 13th studio album right now. So they got some stuff out there. And it's back. He's back with Jimmy Chamberlain is on this record. So is James Iha. He's on the record. It's the three core guys. And
you could tell just by the sound.
Oh yeah. Well, I think from hearing some interviews and hearing him talk, he said they wanted to make a record like they used to make it. And he's like, not that we didn't try. This is what we do. He's like, we experimented and went different, because we got tired of doing that. So, to keep yourself interested, you did something else. But he said doing this, it ain't like they went back to the 90-something sound or 92 sound. He's like, this is how we write. This is how we do it, That's what it was built on. Billy's super talented, dude. He's super talented.
Absolutely.
He really is. All right, so we're going to get down. There's only 10 songs on this one, so it's a 10-song countdown. Remember, we're going from our least favorite to our favorite as a panel. So there's 3 scores that are involved, and then that's an average, and that'll come after the song average, and then the album average at the end. Remember that we're starting at our least favorite. So that means the first couple we talk about aren't going to be, assholes and rainbows or whatever you want to call it.
Assholes and rainbows.
I don't know what that means.
That's a good band name.
Yeah.
Assholes and rainbows.
So sit through the show. It gets better as we move on. We get to say some good stuff. Okay, so let's take it from here. going on. Actually, just to mention one more time is that the streaming, it's available now if you want to stream it or buy it through the streaming services. And the release is November 22nd is the actually physical release. And then there'll be like an expanded edition called a Zuzu edition, something like that. Zuzu, like Zuzu pedals. Zuzu edition. That'll be out. I don't know if it's gonna be the same time or not. But
They put the pre-order price up on this yet?
I seen it for like $25 or something like that.
Oh, guess what? That's not bad.
That's a definite buy for
I
me.
think I might put my stake in on that.
Yeah, that's a definite buy for me. All right, so coming in at number 10, we're doing Aghori, Mhori, May, Smashing Pumpkins. Here we go. Coming in at number 10, Goeth the Fall. Damien, I'll start out with Damien's marks. Since Damien's not here, he gave it a 5. A little disappointing on Dame on that, but hey, it's not really his thing. So, Mike D, how about you? What do you got for Goeth the Fall?
A little on the slow poppy tempo. Wasn't one of my favorite ones. It kind of, the first time I listened to it, I probably would have gave it a 6.5, but the more I listened to the album, I pumped it up to a 7.5.
Yeah.
It kind of, actually in the beginning, it kind of reminded me of like All Apologies a little bit with that little guitar riff going on there. But
it's the tone. Yeah.
I mean, like, even though, like, this came in last place, it's just like the production value, just the way the placement of the instruments, just how he does things. It's just,
it's unfucking believable.
As a whole, like when you listen to this as an album, you just don't feel like it's boring.
Right. Where now Dame kind of thought it was kind of sleepy for him, but to me, it's a musical piece. It's a big,
right.
Even though it's not a concept, it sounds like a musical friggin' piece, Yeah. And Dame, Dame respects what they do. Dame, like some of the stuff, respects what they do. It's just, if he's not a big slow type guy,
me either.
He's not big on that usually.
Me either. And I think I gave a lot of the slower ones even higher scores than I normally would.
Right.
Just because, like, I don't know, it was the pace of the album, so to say. It just felt good together. I don't know how else to put it.
They're making they went old school, made an album, not a bunch of singles. It's
right.
Friggin' album, which is the way we used to listen to music back then. It was a piece of work. That's why guys like Bowie and even if you can't even throw in somebody more recent as like a Manson, each album they did was their piece of work at that time.
Like, and then, better yet, King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, right? Everything they do is, they go from heavy metal to like folk music. So it's like,
But I mean, it's like what you're doing at the time. Bowie would come out with the next record, almost like Kiss used to. Bowie would come out with the next record. What sound is Bowie going to do now? And then how's he going to look? And what's the album? It was each one. Cooper did it too. Each record was a piece of work. It wasn't just, this is what we sound like, and the next record's what we sound like. There's nothing wrong with that either. But, that's the way it is. So let me go with that. Go with the Fall for me. I gave it a 6.75. Out of the entire record, this was my lowest ranking song. It's not that it's bad. It just has a lot of competition on this record. It's definitely got the Nirvana tone, as you were saying, and feel to it. It's good, but it probably won't have high replay value for me. I wouldn't probably skip it. It could be a grower. Who knows? We'll see what happens on that one. Now I'm going to screw up some of these titles probably. So coming at number 9, More New or More Newa.
More Now.
More Now. Here you go. We'll go with More Now. Damien gave the old More Now a 5, another 5 for Dame. Mike D, what you give it?
This might have been a 5 for me. It had some really cool stuff going in, and I gave it a 7. Like just like the synths in there and stuff. Like some, you're gonna laugh because you probably hate them anyway, but like some of the synths in that actually reminded me like parts in like Sparks songs that they've been doing lately. It's kind of cool. So I ended up giving this one a 7. As an album closer, though, well, no, it didn't feel like an album closer. I will say that.
That's funny because you looking at my notes, I gave it a 7.5. And my note says it's in the perfect spot for the record. It's amazing how we all think different,
I don't know. I wanted the album to go out on it like a bang, like not like that.
I think it has that end of a Journey sound to me. Not Journey the band, like a journey, like you're on a journey.
I know what you mean. Yeah, I could see that too, but I just felt Okay, where's the next fucking banger in this one?
Yeah,
This is it. Like, okay, that was my letdown, but
yeah.
minor.
I'll tell you what though. I mean, to me, it makes sense the way it is. The really cool part of the whole song is it gets to a point where it kind of reminds you in excess somewhere in the song. It's got like this in excess kind of
Hmm.
feel to it.
I know. I think I know. It's like that orchestra part, sort of.
Yeah, where he's kind of it's got that NXS kind of feel to it. It's pretty interesting. The orchestration part's really cool. I think it's a good finish to a pretty strong record. Okay, going on to number 8. Who goes there? Damien gave this one a 6.5. He's growing a little bit here on this one. 6.5 for Damo. Mike, who goes there? What do you got?
I guess you could say I really didn't read the lyrics, but like a pretty feel to the song, but it was kind of boring to me. This would probably be my true lowest. I ended up giving it a 7 as far as it just fits into the album, but for me, it was a little boring.
Okay. Who goes there? I gave it a 7.25. It's a good song. I just favor the heavy riff songs better. It's well written. I mean, I think a lot of people will like this tune. It's probably not one of my favorites, but I think people will like the tune. Overall, it's good. There's just so many other stronger songs on the record, and that's why it gets a little lower rank for me. Coming in number 7, 999. Damiano gave that a 6.5. Mike D, how about you? 999.
I gave this a 7.5. It's more of a slower track, sort of like this, I don't know, almost like a brooding feel to it. It kind of moves along, but it's interesting. It's got some cool parts in it.
Yeah. I gave 999 an 8.25. Cool intro with nice melodic part overlay over it. I dig the vocal melody, definitely. Great songwriting. The middle part kicks ass. It has that little Middle Eastern sound, which I am a sucker for. Every time I hear somebody play that little Middle Eastern guitar stuff, and I'm a
Me
sucker
too.
for it.
Yeah.
You got me hooked. As soon as I hear it, it's just so cool. The pre-chorus is pretty good. The chorus is good. Yeah, it's a pretty solid song. It's a decent song. I mean, I gave it an 8.25. It's a pretty damn good song for that. Coming in at number 6, Pentecost. Damo gave it a 6.5. Mike D, how about you?
I gave this a 7.5. A little on the slower side. Not like I said, I'm not a big slow guy. But it's got some like the guitars in it, like some of those, like especially like the intro. It's got that cool, eerie kind of almost like you miss a note almost. Like a bad note, but it's not.
Right.
It's just got a cool feel to it.
Right. Pentecost, I gave an 8.5. I gave it a pretty high rating. I think you're sucked in as soon as the song starts. It's got a hypnotizing vocal feel to it. It sucks you right in. It pulls you in. And it eventually goes in this cool little dreamy piano part, which is really cool. And then it goes back to the vocals that suck you back in again. Man, it's deep. It's got meaningful lyrics, and it gets better with each listen. It's got this hypnotizing kind of feel to it. It's very moody. This album's got a mood to it. I think that's what I like about it. It's definitely a mood record. You put it on, you don't listen to one or two songs, you listen to the whole piece. If it's 45 minutes, that's what you do.
It's a very epic sounding album. It's got ups and downs, peaks and valleys, and
it sounds like a complete piece of work. It don't sound like it's a bunch of songs pasted, All right, here coming in at number 5. If I say this right, Sig Homie. Sig Homie.
Sig Homie?
Sig Homie. Sig Homie sounds cooler, I guess. Maybe it's Sig Homie. I gave that a 6. Well, not me. Damien, who's not here tonight, gave it a 6.75. Mike D, what did you give the old Sig Homie?
I gave this an 8.5, man. I like this one. This is just reminds me of like the classic good old pumpkin sound. I mean, it's really cool track. I like this one.
Yeah, I gave it an 8.25. Right into a rockin' riff. Great melodic overlay again. Billy's mellow vocals over Jimmy Chamberlain's tasty drum parts, man. Chamberlain's awesome. It's a solid tune. This is why this band is still relevant. This is why they're still relevant. After all this time, a lot of those bands from the 90s, who's relevant still? There's only a few. There's a handful. That's it.
Yeah,
and
can't argue that.
And they are one of them. Coming in at number 4, Psychoris, if I'm saying that right.
Sounds about
Sycaris.
Sicarus. I'm not sure.
Sycaris.
I
You
don't
tell us
know.
we're fucking up the language here.
I speak one language.
Yeah.
It might be an English word. I don't know.
I
have
did
no
go to
idea.
the Reeds van when I was younger. So
He's going to
maybe.
have to start supplying like a dictionary when he puts out
Yeah, he got
music
some.
here.
Yeah. Yeah. So Damien gave us one a 7.8, which was his highest on the record. He gave this a 7.8. Mike D, what did you give the old Sycaris?
Another one gave us an 8.5. I could have even gave this one high. I don't know. Again, it has that like Middle Eastern, like Egypt sound mixed in there. Really, really cool track. I like this one.
Yeah, I gave this one an 8. It's got some metal going on in it, you know.
Yeah.
This one's cool. Good pre-chorus, good chorus. It reminds me of early Ghost, like when Ghost first came out. It
I
reminds me
could
of that.
kind of hear
With
that.
the little chants kind of stuff. It's got a Ghost feel to it, and I love Ghost. So and it sounds like early Ghost. So yeah, good song. Coming in number 3, Pentagrams. Damien gave Pentagrams a 7.25. What you give it there, Damo?
Damo gave it a 7.25.
That's what he gave it. A
Yeah.
7.25. What did you give it?
He said, "What did you give it, Damo?"
Oh, what did you give it, Mike-O?
I said Damo gave it a 7.25.
Yeah. So we're answering here for Damien.
I gave it. Yes, but I'm answering you. You're treating me like Damien. You asked me.
Maybe that's what we should have did in the beginning of the show.
You talk about take the hat off and act like Damien.
Yeah.
Without hair.
There you go.
Pentagrams, you said?
Yes.
Really? Like those first 3 songs on the album, man, it's just such a it just starts it off so well. This being like the second track on the album, it starts off, it's got that eerie guitar, but it's almost like an epic song. It's a long song. It's over probably 6 minutes plus.
Mhm.
Kind of starts off soft and then picks up. Another really good one.
Yeah. Pentagrams, I gave it a 9.5. Great intro. It's so eerie sounding. This record, like I said, has such a mood to it. It engulfs you. The record fucking engulfs you, I think. You know, Billy Corgan's distinctive and incredibly unique voice. Nobody sounds like him. It drifts over the music like you're in a dream. It's got this very dream feel to it. His pronunciations on certain words are just great. The way he, the way he says it. They're really cool. The chorus reminds you of the early Pumpkins kind of. It kind of reminds you of maybe like a Siamese Dream meets, and I always say it's one of my favorite records, but I never say Zeitgeist if I'm saying it right.
I think you're saying it right.
Zeitgeist. That's one of my favorite Pumpkin records also. And not to mention that the lyrics are great. I mean, through the whole record, their lyrics are great. Stellar track for me. I think it's really a cool song. Coming in at number 2, Eden. Damien gave it a 7. Mike D, what you give Eden?
I gave this one a 9. Killer opening track. And again, it's got that Middle Eastern sound going through it. This is heavy. Reminds you of old Pumpkin stuff, man. Just sounds like, I don't want to say back to form because they're just so good anyway, but it just sounds like they're back to some of their older stuff on this.
Yeah. I gave Eden a 10. I gave 2 10s on this record, and this is one of them. Really cool intro. It has a real cool opening. It's just so cool. I mean, I really dig it. It reminds me of Metallica meets Maiden, at some of the musical parts. An awesome build up into a great moving riff, super cool lyrics. With his mellow delivery. When you got something that's like got this kind of like Metallica sounding heavy riff and Billy singing the way he sings, there's a great contrast in that. And that's what makes them special. There's such a unique contrast with that. The when it kicks in with the pretty vocal part over the guitar, it's just so good. There's so many musical stuff going on. The little percussion breakdown, I could go on and on about this song. The musical pieces are just so good, and Jimmy Chamberlain is just great. He's just great. Okay, coming in at number 1 will be War Dreams of Itself. Okay, so Damien gave this a 7.75. It was the second highest rating, I believe, on the record. Mike D, how about you?
I gave this one a 9. Guess what, man? I probably could have gave this one higher. I probably should have gave this a 9.5, maybe even a 10. This is a killer track. And it's hard for me to even remember anything else off the album because this song is going through my head right now as we speak. This track is killer. This is just in your face. I metal rock, just the words to this, just a great song.
Yeah. Um, it's funny. This song, when I first heard it, I had a high score in my mind, and then I heard it again. I was like, wow, this is good. This is real good. I heard it again. I'm like, this is great. And it got a 10 from me. I mean, that's how good I think it is. It's a hell yeah. Definitely a hell yeah. The first time you listen to it, like I said, it's good. Second time, it's real good. Third time, it's like, Jesus, this song's fucking great. It's my favorite track off the record. The lyrics sound like it's telling the story of which, in the world that we're living in right now. It's really, I think,
Yeah,
of the times.
absolutely.
Um, the drumming is just great. The main guitar riff is awesome. You know, people don't realize how good these guys are. Like Jimmy Chamberlain is a fucking genius. Billy Corgan is a friggin' genius. I don't know much about James Iha, but I'm sure he's a genius too.
Look, when
You
you
know?
could go and you could come out to these big tower songs and then go to these like mellow, dreamy stuff and do it both so well, man. That says something right there.
Yeah. I love the lyric line, man. The 6'6" cicada. Great fucking
Mm-hmm.
line. It just sounds great. The Babylon parts sound great. He could give you a lot of power without having to scream or having to go full. He could, it's still there. It's just so, like I said, I could go on and on how unique his sound is, whether people love the sound or don't love the sound. It took me a little bit to get used to the sound from the beginning. I liked a couple songs. I was like, after a while, I'm like, But after watching him play guitar live and knowing that he puts all the stuff together and then appreciating his voice and how unique it is now, because there's so many copycat things out there now. It's like nobody sounds like him.
No, and guess what? Though you know one of their songs like almost even before he sings, so it's
You
not
you
like
know
it has that sound.
Yeah, you definitely 110% know that it's their sound. So overall, Smashing Pumpkins. Let's see what we got here. Damien gave the whole record a 6.60. Mike D, you gave the record 7.95. I gave the record an 8.4, which averages out to a 7.65. 7.65 for Aghori, Mhori, May from the Smashing Pumpkins. 7.65 is a high rating. It's a pretty high rating. Yeah, so we're going to go on to the final thoughts here. Damien gave me his notes for his final thoughts. So yeah, let's let me just let me put the old goggles on so I can actually see what he said here. Yeah, Damien said, not a bad record, just a little boring for him, not really interesting enough for him. He probably, wouldn't listen to it again. Not that it's bad, but it's just not for him. So it's just not his type. You know what I mean? So which is fine. Mike D, your final thoughts on the Smashing Pumpkins record?
My final thoughts are 7.95. I would, as a whole, I probably would have bumped it up to at least an 8.5. That's the feel for me as a whole. I'm definitely going to pre-order this.
Oh,
so
yeah.
If that tells you how I feel about it,
yeah,
it's going in my collection.
I gave it an 8.4. I'm definitely going to get this one on vinyl. Man, I still can't believe this is not a concept record.
It does. It really does have that feel.
It's got a cinematic
not,
feel.
Like you looked it up. Or...
I did look it up to see because I thought it was a concept record. It's got a cinematic feel to it. It really feels like you're going on a journey through the whole thing. It's well pieced together, the way the songs lay into each other. Yeah, I mean, it goes to show you that bands can put together a complete album and that's still solid all the way through without having a hit single sounding song. Of course, there's really not a hit sounding single on this song. It's just not. But it doesn't matter because the record's so damn good.
You don't have to do it.
Don't have to do it. So if you're looking for, little butterfly wings or something like that, you're not going to get that. But what you are going to get is a solid piece of art, like a solid piece of art that has good stuff, man. and you have to listen to the entire record. This is an entire record album. Billy's such a good songwriter, man. The last record they put out was good. It just was a lot to digest at once. 10 songs made it nice and sweet.
That was like 30 songs on it. Yeah,
it was like 32 songs or something like that. Yeah.
That's what I said. Like 10 songs, just a bet. Like that's like the perfect album. 10, 11 songs. You get 12. Like when you start going to like 16 songs, like
you get lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Right. Like back when the CDs first came out, everybody's trying to push the boundaries on how many songs they can fit on the CD.
You know what?
And now it's that?
Yeah. What it is that good songs get lost in the shuffle when you put too many.
Yes.
So a song that might be pretty good don't have a chance after people get through 10, 12 songs. So like you get a little tired of it almost. It's almost like seeing your favorite band live. You don't want them to go off the stage, but you're tired at one point. We're like, all right, they played an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know, I don't want them to go. I want them to come out for the encore, but at the same time, I'm like, all right, I'm done.
you got that many songs, just put a second album out. Put a companion piece, do a little EP or something like that. But
yeah,
I don't know. I hate when they force too many songs on an album that just don't need to be there.
Yeah. Yep. But this, I thought they did a great job with this. And like I said, he don't really put out nothing bad. You know, the worst you could say is that some stuff might be a little sleepy, a little somber, whatever, but it is what it is. They're very, I said it 1,000 times before, they're very unique. They could get psychedelic, they could get metal, they could get, you know, but you know it's them. You know it's them. Whether it's a slow song, a heavy song, you know it's them. So yeah, that's our wrap up for Smashing Pumpkins, Aghori, Mhori, May, and Mixtapes and Taste of Cakes. Hopefully Damien will be back next week, and who knows what we're reviewing next week, but we'll be back. See you next week.